years now, a lot of us have tried to, people who write in the Latino community, we've tried to go put our books uh, on the shelves inside, physically inside Barnes and Noble stores, to no avail. Now, just give you a background. I wrote a Puerto Rican slang dictionary years ago, and I succeeded in um, Borders bookstores, and it sold out when I'm talking when I first put it, the first edition. It was just, I started as a joke, because it's just, let me see how many words I can come up with that for my memory from I grew up in the mountains of Puerto Rico, and a lot of slang gets used there. So, but I also grew up part of my most of my life in the adult or late teens in the cities. So I learned a lot of the slang in Puerto Rico. So, and it's huge, the amount of Puerto Rican slang that's out there. So it's still evolving. If you listen to reggaeton, if you listen to music, forget it. It's evolving as we speak. So when I succeeded in putting I believe it was the second edition, La Lengua Boricua, the Puerto Rican tongue, about 2 weeks after I was able to get the go-ahead from the corporate office at Borders to put it on the Eastern Seaboard. I mean, I had it in Miami Dolphin Mall. I had it in the LaGuardia Airport. I had it in the Miami Airport. So it was starting to pick up. And finally, they put the first order in. They decided to file for bankruptcy. So I've been able to, I was able to put it out there, but after that, I tried Barnes and Noble, and I actually did some approaches before, but to no avail. And the latest approach I made was a few months ago, when I contacted the local Barnes and Noble store. I actually went in person and spoke to whoever was in there. They gave me the contact information for the manager, and I went ahead and continued to contact the manager, and didn't even get a response. And I finally was able to, I kept contacting via email, and I said, well, maybe it went to spam, so let me do follow-up. And I did my follow-up, and this person, when I spoke to her, she was completely aloof, completely unemotional, cold on the phone. She admitted, I say, did you get my message? How did you? She says, yes, I got it. And it's like, why didn't you answer? And I gave her the background of where my book came from, and we're talking about the Barnes Noble that sits in the middle of Orlando, the Central Florida area, has over 1 million Puerto Rican people, and it's a gold mine for anything that has to do with our culture. And I explained to her that this fact that you are sitting on a gold mine, and most of the books that are in Spanish inside of Barnes and Noble stores are just books that have been written by English speaking writers, and those books have been translated into Spanish, because of course they want the money from the Hispanic market. They have maybe one or a couple of books. They have a few books that have been written by Spanish-speaking authors. Dennis, the War Against All Puerto Ricans, they have that because everybody has that. You have to have it. But it seems to me that Barnes & Noble has a problem, a racism problem, because I don't see any other explanation for, and they're not the only ones. They're not the only ones. So whoever is out there selling books at a national level at brick and mortar stores, the majority of them, if you go to Walmart's in Latino neighborhoods, they have books in Spanish, some of them on the cover saying curse words because they've been translated from the English. For example, cabronas, there's a woman that wrote a book saying that why bitches rule or something like that, why bitches win, and that's translated into cabronas, which is not the correct translation, but in some countries it could be. But in my culture, in Puerto Rican culture, cabron is a real bad insult. However, if it's used amongst friends, I can call my friend cabron, man, like fucking man, and so it's not. But if I call somebody cabron with intent and passion behind it, it's a really serious insult. You're telling them that their wife screws around on them, they know it, and they don't do anything. That's what that means. It comes from the word cabro, which is a goat with horns. Now, that when somebody puts you the horns, it means they cheat on you. They call them tarros also in other parts of Latin America. But the point being that they have no problem, asking for our money. And I'm talking about Walmart. I'm talking about Barnes and Noble and a bunch of other corporations, major corporations. They have no problem asking for our money. By selling us translated content that was originally written by English-speaking creators. What they do have a problem with, it's glaringly obvious, is supporting our writers, us who write in Spanish, and putting us, the writers, on inside of their brick and mortar stores. They obviously have a problem with that, because it's not that we don't have talent. That is horrendously racist, to even think that like that. We have an abundance of talent in the Hispanic or the Spanish writer community. I mean, gobs of enormously talented writers, gobs of us. So that you can't use that as an excuse. Oh, there's not enough Spanish content. Bullshit. Right? That's not true. It's not like, well, we don't know. Hispanic people are not going to read. They don't read. First of all, that's racist and that's a lie. Go ahead and see how many books Dennis sold. Go ahead and see how many books El Boricuazo sold. Go ahead and see how many books on the Lorenzo case, the kid from the Anacacho. See how many books. And I saw the book. It looked like it was written by a little kid. Horrendous fucking, arrangement of pages and shit. And they sold the shit out of that book everywhere. They could not keep it on the shelves. And see how many translated books of the Harry Potter, they sold to us in the bookstore. So I don't want to hear the bullshit that Hispanic people don't read. That's a lie. That's a racist fucking lie. So the only other option, and I'm not trying to, apologize for Barnes and Noble. Fuck them. Let's just get that out there. Fuck Barnes and Noble, right? So because of what they've been doing to Latino writers, unless you're super successful, they have no other choice but to put you in there. They have no problem selling to the Hispanic market, but they have a huge problem buying from the Hispanic market. Enormous problem buying from us. So, what can I say to solve the situation and get Barnes and Noble and other retailers who sell books to put Spanish books in Spanish that were written in Spanish by Latino authors? What can I say to solve that problem? And it's stupid of them, because while you're spending on the Latino market by not putting our books on your shelves, you're leaving tons of money on the table, because when we come to a place to buy something, we buy some other stuff and we hang out and we bring a bunch of people with us. Come on, let's go over here. We make a bunch of people, we make a group and we come and hang out at your stores and spend a bunch of money. That is the stupidest. See, racism is costing you money, tons of it. And in this area when most retail stores are having problems bringing customers inside the store, no-brainer. It's a no-brainer. And you won't even need to advertise it. They'll come inside the store. And once one of them, they'll show up. And they won't stop showing up. That's what they do. That's what my people do. They keep coming. So the alternative to that is to boycott. To boycott Barnes and Noble and other stores who don't carry, who sell books but don't sell books that were written by Spanish writers. And the majority of the Spanish language books that they sell are translations. That's the way I can see it. Because if you have a problem with buying from us, maybe we should have a problem buying from you.